Cool Beans Davis, along with my co-host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this Sunday night? Thank y'all for joining in. Once again, we didn't have a radio edition this past week. We're hopefully getting that back on shortly and soon. And I was sick last night with some food poison or whatever that may have been, but we're back on the air tonight with the live edition. Um, so hope everyone's doing well. I'll let Cool Beans do a shout out to our listeners.
Yes, we like to give a shout out to all those that like to come on the live and give us your undivided attention. Thank y'all for that, and for those that'll come back and watch the replay, we also thank you for that. As far as our radio edition, our top cities used to be, probably still are, as far as we know. I haven't been on there in a bit, but we have San Jose, California, Boardman, Oregon, also Grinzeckweiler in Germany. It's getting bad. I can't even remember. Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, California, Ashburn, Virginia, and Brussels, Belgium. Thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll go a little news right now. Um, we don't know a whole lot about hockey. I mean hockey, but soccer. USA is right now two, Costa Rica two, and they're an extra play. Um, I don't know how that works with soccer. And that's in the 25 CONCACAF Cup as of right now. Um, I just seen that popping up. And we'll go ahead. I'll go through some baseball scores, and then we'll jump on over to the women's NBA. Beans has got some stuff he always likes to talk about in the women's NBA.
Right.
He is a follower of the women's NBA now. He's watching it all the time. He is hooked.
I know some of the games. I be like, nah, sweeping down. This is gonna be boring. Let me sit through this. The next thing I know, I'm on the edge of my seat watching. I'm just like, oh, I can't get away.
But here in Major League Baseball right now, um, well, if I can get my computer to cooperate. Right now in the bottom of the seventh in Detroit, Detroit's beating the Twins 3-0. And these next are some finals. The Cardinals beat the Guardians in Cleveland 7-0. The Pirates pound the Mets 12-1. Yankees beat the Athletics in New York 12-5. The Phillies beat my Braves 2-1. My Braves are stinking it up. They're 38-45. The Orioles beat the Rays in Baltimore 5-1. The Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 5-3 in Boston. The Reds beat the Padres 3-2. The Astros beat the Cubs 2-0 in Houston. Colorado beat the Brewers 4-3. The Dodgers beat the Royals 5-1 in KC. The Giants gets beat by the White Sox in Chicago 5-2. Mariners over the Rangers in Texas 6-4. The Nationals beat the Angels 7-4 in Anaheim. And the Marlins beat the Diamondbacks 6-4 in Arizona. That is a rundown of the scores of baseball today. We'll go down through the standings. Yankees still lead the American League East by a game and a half over the Rays. The Yankees are 45-35. The Tampa Bay Rays 47-37. Um, Detroit has got a commanding 11-game lead on the Guardians in the Central. Detroit is 52-32, while Cleveland is 40-42. Um, Out west in the AL, you got Houston leading by 6.5 games over the Mariners. The Astros are 50-34. Moving on over to the National League East, the Phillies lead that by a game and a half on the Mets. Um, Phillies are 49-35, and the Mets are 48-37. And then the Braves are sitting there in third, but they're so many. games back. They're 10.5 games back in first. So
Ooh, that's a bit.
yeah, so they've done dug themselves in a hole. The Cubs are leading the Central by 2 games over the Brewers, and then the Brewers are in second, 2 games out, and then St. Louis is 2.5 games out. So there's a little tight race there between the Brewers and the Cardinals. And then you go out west in the National League, you got the Dodgers making some room. They're 53-32 with a 7 game lead in that division over the Padres, who are 45-38, and then right behind them is the Giants at 45-39. So that's a little tight between 2 and 3 in that division.
Right.
And then the Rockies just plain out suck. They are 19-65. They're 33.5 games out. But they're used to that.
Right. I hear you. I got a question for you though,
Okay.
because they're roughly about 90 games in, 95 games in, depending on which team, because some teams have played more games than other teams. So when is their All-Star break?
Coming up, I'll have to check next week or two. It's July. It used to hit around the 4th of July. Now I think it's a little after 4th.
Okay, because see, I'm looking at the time and I'm like, I'm thinking, my mind got to thinking. I'm wondering because WNBA, theirs is going to be July 19th. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, are they going to be around the same time, same weekish, or around the same week? Theirs might be July 12th or something, like a week ahead or something. I don't know.
I'm getting ready to find out for you right here. Well, at least I was. Um, but you know what? Hold on. Let me go back here. See, they moved it back.
Hmm.
Let's see what this is. Okay, it is July 17th.
Okay, so 2 days away.
Um, so you got what, 2 weeks away?
Hmm.
It's on a Thursday. Um, so see, it didn't used to be that late in July, but it is now, I guess. But July 17th is when it is. All right, moving right along, we'll go to the women's NBA. I'll hit some scores real fast, and then I'll let you do your I guess your second favorite now behind the NFL. All right, but right now going on, you've got the Storms. The Storm and the Valkyries are playing in a second with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Valkyries up 30-24 on that right now. And that's a big win there. This could be a big changer, game changer right there. Because
It is.
Valkyries win, they go to 9-7, and then Storm falls to 10-7.
Right. But here's the thing about the bad thing about that game is if the Valkyries win, even if they don't win, Valkyries are showing that they are going to be a playoff contender. Nobody expected that. The expansion team, we are expecting them to be bottom of the barrel.
Oh yeah.
And they are proving they are not.
Um, and and the way it's looking, they could knock the Fever out.
Yeah, they can. Because
Um,
Fever right now is cruising at either seventh or eighth. I can't remember. I just looked at it not too long ago.
I'll have
But
that
they're
pulled up.
still in it, but not by much.
You had the Dream beating the Liberty 90-81. Sky beat the Sparks 92-85. The Aces over the Mercury 84-81. And Aja Wilson had 26 points and 18 boards with 7 assists. Um, then you had the Sun and the Lynx. The Lynx beat the Sun 102-63.
Yeah, the Sun is actually carrying that the last torch. They are the caboose of the league, and it doesn't look like they are coming out of that anytime soon.
They've only got 2 wins.
Yep.
That makes for a long season. And as of right now, sitting in that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right now, Indiana has the 8th seed at 8-8. The Aces are 8-8. And then, like I said, if Valkyries win, they'll be 9-7, and the Storm will go to 10-7. If Valkyries lose, then you got a 3-way tie there to 8-8, and I don't know how that goes, how that falls as far as the seeding there, who's beat who there yet.
The Valkyrie did a. The Valkyrie beat the Fever.
Okay, so they'll stay above the Fever.
Yeah.
And didn't Valkyrie beat the Aces?
Yeah. Oh wait. Did they? Yeah, they beat the Aces also.
They beat them early in the season.
Yeah, and the Aces also beat the Fever.
So there ain't gonna be no switching around. They'll be, even if they lose, they'll stay where it's at. So, which too, I mean, Fever, Caitlin Clark's been out hurt. So you can't go too much about the record as far as the Fever goes. But if she's healthy coming there in the playoffs, look out.
Actually, there's a little bit more to that too. I was going. Yeah, I was gonna give you the whole scoop on that. I haven't. See, actually, I titled this episode 30 and 14 because originally, before the season started, I had the Fever going 30 and 14. And everybody was like, "We're gonna be undefeated." Let's do it. I didn't believe that, but I at least gave them 30 and 14. But for them to get that 30 and 14, they have get to go on a serious win streak, and they can only lose 6 more. But before I get touch on, I had some stuff about the Fever. Before I touch on that, I wanted to go over the Dream and the Liberty. Why did the Liberty let me down? The Dream actually are turning out to be better than what I predicted them to be. The Atlanta Dream, first of all, they got a Ricky on there, which I like her name. So I like her to be like, that's what I said. Caitlin didn't have pretty much no competition as far as Rookie of the Year. But this Tahina Pow, point guard for the Dream, she's playing nicely also. Because at first I did not know she was a rookie. And then somebody just told me in the chat one day, I was on another site and they told me in the chat one day to talk about something. I'm forgetting her about Rookie of the Year too. And I'm like, wait, she's a rookie? I thought for sure she was in her second or third year. But Tahina Pow for the Dream, which the Dream beating the Liberty today, because the Dream would have been like in 4th place. And the Liberty was in 3rd. So now the Dream surpassed the Liberty. And the Liberty would be sitting at 4th spot. The spot that I actually predicted at 30 and 14. That's where the Fever would be. But it's not looking that way. And here's another thing. And this is one thing I want to clarify because a lot of people are talking about it on other web shows and everything. Mm-hmm. As far as DeWanna Bonner quitting on the Fever. She did quit. There's other people say, no, she didn't quit. She just requested a trade. Yes, there's a right way to do it. You request a trade. She didn't like coming off the bench. She wanted to be in the starting lineup. She thought she was going to be in the starting lineup. And then she got benched for her play because Lexi Hull was playing better. So she wanted a trade. Yes, you request a trade. That's what you do. But guess what you still do? You still show up to practice. You still show up to the games. She missed 6 games talking about something. They were talking about, and the Fever was talking about, oh, she's out for personal reasons. She's not coming. That means you quit. You stop coming to the games. You stop coming to practice. You quit. There's nothing else to it. You are a quitter. You quit. And any team that picks her up now that she's been waived, and there's a lot of people thinking that Phoenix has done it. Your owner is an idiot. Your GM is an idiot. She quit on the Fever. She will quit on you if things are not going her way. She has already proven that. She's done it. She's proven it. You are idiots for picking her up. Nobody should pick her up. She is toxic. Don't touch her. That's all I wanted to say on that one. But the Indiana Fever, she was not the Indiana Fever's problem. The Indiana Fever's problem, which why they're losing these games, they've lost 6 games. Keep in mind, 6 games. If they take half of those and turn them into wins, they'd be 11-3 versus 8-8. But they lost 6 games, having the lead in the fourth quarter. They cannot keep a lead for nothing. Why can they not keep it? Because none of them play defense. None of them have the slightest clue about playing defense. They can score, but they can't play defense. And it starts with the coach. Because why, in the last game when they lost to, I just can't remember that. They beat the Storm. Then they came back. They lost that game, but I can't remember who that was. But anyway, the other team, they were playing small ball against the other team. You already was losing the rebound battle. You was already giving up second and third chance shots and scoring to the other team. Why would you still play small ball? I would have had somebody, and then you waited till the last, and they talk about it was a foul that wasn't really a foul, which it was true. Oh, now I remember. The LA Spark. That's who beat them. It was a foul that really wasn't a foul, and they say it came up to a 5-point swing. But my thing is, y'all are crying about that because I'm like, but let's even think about it. Let's let that go. Let's think about all the layups y'all bricked. Y'all wasn't hitting your shots. What about all that? All the rebounds y'all gave up. What about that? Like those are things that you need to do to win. This is not a championship team. I am hoping they can slide into the playoffs. That's all I'm hoping for. This is a team that may slide into the playoffs. This is not a championship team. Championship teams play defense. Championship teams rebound the ball. They are not doing any of that. Championship teams also will put you away in the fourth quarter, especially if they go in that quarter leading, and they are not doing that.
I got one thing since you mentioned it, and I brought her stats up. Pow. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because we want to give players their due respect and everything, and this is her stats so far on the season. But for her to be in the running for Rookie of the Year, 6 points. She's averaging 6 points per game, 6.1, 1.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 0.3 steals. That's not even close.
Ain't good.
That's not even close to Buckner.
No, it's not.
So
Kiki had a bad game last, too. But Sonia Citron is also in there too.
Who's some other rookies besides Buckner?
Sonia Citron from Washington Mystics and Kiki Arafran from Washington Mystics. Now, the last game that Kiki played, she only did 2 points. But Sonya did 22. She was the leading scorer. Who was that against? The Mystics versus... Oh, they beat the Aces.
You said the Mystics?
Yeah.
Let me go back to yesterday. They played yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday they beat the Aces. 94-83.
Now, what's the two names now?
Kiki Arafan and Sonia Citron. They're starting power and they're starting small forward.
Kiki, all right, she's a rookie.
Yep.
Let me bring up her stats. Okay, now you could put her rookie. I think she could be in the running. She's averaging 12.9 points a game, 8.4 boards a game, 1.4 assists a game, and 0.8 steals a game. That could be in the running. And who's the other one again?
Sonia Citron on the same team.
So try. She's a guard. Mm. All right. 15 points per game, 5 boards a game, 2.1 assists, 1.2 steals a game. So them two right there, um, you could have them up there behind Buckner.
Yeah, they're both going to be. Because, see, the bad thing is, between them two, they play on the same team. So they're canceling out each one. They cancel each other out.
And they're still pulling pretty good. I mean, and here's you got Sykes. She's leading the team in points at
Yeah.
18. So
Yeah.
you got a rookie behind her at 15, and then another one, what, at 12?
Yep. Right at 12.
So that's not bad. Watch out for the Mystics next year. I mean, they're fourth in the East right now, and then Buckner plays for
Dallas, the Wings.
the Wings.
I think she's averaging like
She
20
was,
some points.
yeah, she was around 19. I think last time you and I checked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's went up any.
But see,
She's at
Buckner, her problem is going to be she misses a lot of games. She
she's
missed this last game.
she has dropped as of right now. She last time we checked, she was averaging 19 something. She's averaging 18.4 with 4.4 boards, 5.8 assists, and 1.8 steal. Here's my thing. And as a guard, why ain't these guards getting more steals? Why ain't they averaging 2 to 3 steals a game? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I don't know why they're not.
And you don't see that. That goes back to the defense part you was talking about.
Yep.
And you're not seeing that from these guards. Now that's probably one of the highest ones I've seen, 1.8 for the ones I've been checking.
Mm-hmm.
But she's close to that two steals a game. But you're not seeing a lot of that. I mean, from these players.
Right. Oh, and while we're on here talking about Paige Buckner, I got to give her props on this one. She beat she blew out a record, and you know whose record she beat? She beat Caitlin's.
What's that?
All right, fastest guard to 200 points per game and 50 assists a game. I mean, not 200 points a game, 200 total points and 50 assists. Caitlin Clark did it in 12 games. Her first 12 games. Paige did it in her first 11.
Her out.
So she beat Caitlin. She broke one of Caitlin's records.
So she is living up to the hype then.
Yeah. So congrats to Paige Buckners on that one.
And then here too, I just seen this. Let me find it here. Well, where'd it go? Okay, Reese sets a women's NBA rebound mark in victory.
Yes, I forgot about that one. Yes.
Um, so she had 15 plus boards in 4 straight games.
Yep. Not to mention, I don't know what this last, everybody was getting on her about the me bounds and all this, and everybody was talking junk about her. I don't know. Maybe some of it hit home because she is playing better. She is playing a lot better, but I don't think it's going to save Tyler Marsh's job because he's going to get fired for the same Reese Teresa Witherspoon got fired. And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that back because you got my attention back on something that I was supposed to say on the air. The reason why he's going to get fired is the same reason Teresa Witherspoon got fired. This team has no identity. This team has, we'll just call it a conflict of interest between the front office. Because we know the owner hires the GM. The GM hires the head coach. All right. Now, this is how it goes. The Jim, I think it's Pagliaga. It begins with a P. It's a P, Italian name, but his first name is Jim. We're just going to call him Jim. The GM is going to be Jim. His pick was 2 years ago, coming out when they had the pick. I think it was the number 3 pick. He picked Camila Cardoso. So, His pick was Camila Cardoso. So where do you think he expects this offense to run? Through Cardoso. So then they also had last year the seventh pick. Well, Teresa Witherspoon wanted Angel Reese. Angel Reese is still available. They get Angel Reese at the seventh pick. And Teresa being the coach, where she run offense? Through Reese. They pick everything, they run everything around Reese, while Cardosa is not being utilized to her full potential. Which Jim, when he picked her at number 3 ahead of Reese, wanted that offense to go through her. And now, Teresa Witherspoon is gone. Tyler Marsh is in. What is he doing? The same exact thing Teresa Witherspoon was doing. And I predict at the end of the season, unless they make the playoffs, which right now at this point, they're not in the running, and I don't see him turning it around. It's possible they could turn it around and ease on into the playoffs.
See,
but unless he makes them playoffs, he's gone.
well, the thing is, they don't want to make that 8 seed.
I don't think they are either.
No, you don't. No, they don't want to make that 8 seed because they're going to get spanked.
Yes, they would get spanked, but here's the difference. The coach can probably try to save his job. I got us in the playoffs. He can probably save his job.
Now I've got Angel Reese's stats up. She's averaging. She's still averaging that double double, 11.7 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists, and 1.8 steals. So that's where she's at with her stats.
Right. But see, here's the thing. For her to be actually a force, if she wants to be, she's talking about being, well, she hasn't actually said, but everybody knows that she would prefer to be the face of the WNBA over Caitlyn. But here's the thing. Let's compare her numbers to people who are in her position. She's a forward. She plays the power forward. You know who plays power forward? Aja Wilson plays power forward. Her numbers ain't nowhere near Aja Wilson. Nafisa Collier plays power forward. Her numbers ain't nowhere near Collier's. So she's got to step it up. Even though, like I said, she's doing better. Yes, she's leading the Sky, but at the same time, she's only leading the Sky because they run the offense through her. They're doing this experiment with this point forward through her. But that is not what the GM hired the coach for, because that's not why he drafted Camila Cardoso. And Cardoso is getting fed up with this. This is only her second year. You know they pretty much locked into those rookie contracts of year 4. They got 2 years to turn this around. If they don't turn this around, Camila Cardoso is not there. In 2 more years, both of them players are not there. You looking up Cardoso?
No, I was.
Oh,
I got some other stuff that's coming up, but no. This is I switched over to the NBA, but this is for the NBA. I was looking up some stuff here, but you want me to look up Cardosa?
yeah, because I would like to see how she's stacking up against Angel Reese. She's going to be a little bit behind, but like I said, the only reason why she's behind, they're not running the offense through her. She's the tallest on the field usually when they're playing, because Cardosa's 6'7", and Angel Reese is only 6'4".
All right, I'm trying to get this up. There was some interesting news in the NBA. I was glancing at it caught my eye.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear this.
So, let's see, roster. Trying to get her pulled up. All right, all right. Okay, got her stats pulled up. She is averaging, which she's out right now. She's out hurt.
Mm.
She's averaging 12.7 points per game, 6.6 boards, 1.7 assists, and point 0.3 steals a game. Um, Trying to see here what if it said. No, it won't let me click on it to see what it says. Ah, get this. You ready? This is
Yeah.
4 days ago. Cordosa is stepping away from the sky to play for the Brazilian national team in the FIBA America Cup.
Oh yeah, because Dantas also did that for the Indiana Fever. She stepped away. She's gonna miss 5 games. For some reason, these people they don't have because Luca couldn't say that. Oh, I'm stepping away to play for such and such for in the middle of the season. They was not gonna have
No,
that.
no.
But they let the women do that. So Dantas was gone for 5 games too.
So that's yeah. She's averaging 12 points per game. But yeah, that's why it's got her out status out.
Okay.
All right. You got any more on the women's NBA?
No, I don't have any more on the for
Just
women's.
flipping over here to the NBA, it's free agency and everything like this. And I don't think we mentioned this. I don't know, maybe we did, or maybe you talked
We might
about
have talked
it.
about it at work, but
Which there's new ownership in LA for the Lakers.
yes.
The rumor mill is, the ownership is saying it's time to move on from LeBron James to build around Luca.
I could
Okay,
see that.
all right,
However, LeBron did activate his. He had that option for that
yeah. Well, that's what I
81 million or something.
52.6. It says right here he's exercising his 52.6 million player option for the 25-26 season. But what I was reading here is he's going to sit back and wait to see. Now, get this. This is what I get tired of hearing about LeBron. This is why I don't like crybaby LeBron. He's going to see what key players they get to build for a championship run. You've got Luca for crying out loud. What else do you need? You're supposedly the king of the NBA, and you whine and cry, and you have for the last 10 to 15 years. You've cried, and you have had you had Davis, you couldn't get it done with. You've had there's all kinds. Westbrook, you had him there. You've had all kinds, and you bring this one in, we'll win. You bring that one in, you'll win, and you still have it. And now you've got Luca, who's probably right now one of your best players right now in the NBA. Not the best, but one of the best. Um, and if you can't do it with him, you ain't going to do it. So I would be with the owners. I would go ahead, let him go, because you ain't going to win a championship with LeBron. I'm going to say that right now. There is no more championships coming in LA with LeBron. No more.
Right.
None. Move on. Go get you some draft picks. Trade him. Do whatever you got to do, or however it is, um, and just move on from him because they ain't going to compete. They're done. Um, I don't know what it is. I thought last year was the
Right.
year. I thought for sure they would make a run
I
for it.
did too.
You didn't do it last year when you looked the best that LA's looked since he's been there. It's not happening. Period.
The only thing
Like
they did last year was save Nico's job over there in Dallas. Because Nico could easily. See, I told you he was no good. I told you we had to get rid of him. That's the only thing they did was save his job.
they are about like those Lakers are about like your Cowboys. They're flashy during the season and they don't show up in playoff time.
Right?
But nah, no, I would pass on him. I would let him go. But I mean, who's going to pick him up?
Oh, ain't nobody gonna pick him up. Like if like the Lakers was to get rid of him, that would be it. He would be done. That would be it.
Because you know, he's going to say, well, the next franchise he goes to, well, you're going to draft my son. You're drafting him.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I know a franchise he'd probably go to, Charlotte. Is he'd have to play? He'd have to actually play for the goat. He still owns part of him, don't he?
Yep.
The goat. And he wants to be around the goat. I mean, might as well play for him.
Might as well. I know.
maybe, maybe he could at least take that franchise to the. He could take them to the playoffs.
Yeah, he get him there.
He
Now,
get
as
them
far
there.
as doing anything in the playoffs, that's
What? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're talking about the weak East, so they may be able to, make a little bit of a run because it's only what two or three top. That's it, and then anybody else can
yep.
jump in. So, hey, they could come in the fourth, fifth seed.
Right. I heard a rumor. What you call? I didn't look it up, and I'm glad that we're talking about it on the New York Knicks is trying to get Don Staley to coach them because they fired Thibodeau, and then they can't. All these other coaches that they tried to get, they cannot get. The teams won't even let them talk to them, and so they just like, well, and I started just flipping through on YouTube. Somebody said they're trying to acquire Don Staley, and I was like, no, they're not. But I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, I was like,
Man, the headline news, man, here at the NBA, this is crazy stuff. Harden signs for 81.5 million to the Clippers.
yep. I think it's a 2-year deal too.
What the crap? I mean, he's what late 30s.
Yeah. Not only that, he's not for the team. He's for himself. Him and Kyrie, because Kyrie have already won a championship. But unlike Harden, who has not won a championship, but Harden is for himself. He doesn't care if the team wins.
And then you got the Rockets Smith to sign for 122 million extension.
Yeah.
I mean, they're throwing money around like it's like candy.
Yep. And the Rockets got, which I'm glad because the New York Knicks was interested, but they wanted Kevin Durant. I was like, don't get Kevin Durant. And the reason why I wouldn't want Kevin Durant, because when the Knicks was interested, when I was interested, we was all interested. No, he listened to Kyrie and said, "Don't go to the Knicks. Knicks don't have a winning chance. We're going over here to the Brooklyn Nets. What do they do over there in Brooklyn? Nothing." I was like, so now KD is talking about some coming to New York. I'm like, no, you're past, you're damaged goods. No, we don't want you. You didn't want to come when we wanted you. So stay over there. So now I'm glad that they traded him. Oh, and the bad part was he didn't even know he was traded. He found out that he showed up at some event and found out he got traded to the Houston Rockets, and Phoenix will get Dylan Brooks, which Dylan Brooks is pretty good. Dylan Brooks just had some bad choices. I mean, he's the Dejounte of the NBA. So,
Let me mention this: NBA's throwing this money around, big numbers, and their ratings are low. So where are they going to get this money from? I
I
mean,
know
your
because
viewership, your view. What was the average viewership of this last finals? I know the first game was between 8 to 9 million viewers is all the lowest ever since they've been recording it. So what was the average for the whole finals?
I didn't even look it up. You know that I was so not interested in either one of these two teams. I didn't watch any of the games. There were 7 of them. I didn't watch none of them.
I watched Game Seven, a little bit of it. I did watch it. So let's see here real fast. See what we got. Uh, I'm trying to see. See what it says right here.
And the bad part I hate for Indiana was this past when Indiana Pacers went to the finals. This is the only shot they had at a championship because the Fever right now, like I said, unless they do some changes, have some kumbaya or something on the basketball court, they are not going to make it. Not when they cannot keep a lead and they cannot play defense and they cannot make a layup.
All right. The average for the whole finals, the average, okay, was 10.27 million. All right. Remember, game one was between 8 and 9.
Right.
Game seven. All right. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
And now this is according to AI, which I don't trust AI. I just tell you, I don't like AI. He lies a lot. Um, they says the game seven was let's see, the most watched game seven in 6 years, drawing 6.4 million viewers on ABC. The game seven.
Okay.
Um, but you had an average of 10 million for the whole series. But I can't remember. There was something else going on when game one started. When they had them lower viewings, I can't remember what it was. Um, and I think it could have drew away from that. But anyway, their viewership is still down, and still the highest watched finals game ever is still Michael Jordan at 32.4 million people.
Ooh,
So
that
that'll never be beat.
yeah, because I'm about to say that is a high. I mean, like you didn't get that. And Allen Iverson went to the finals. You didn't get that in any of LeBron's final games. You didn't get that when KD was with Steph and them, Steph Curry and them. You didn't get that. That is gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be tough to beat.
But all right. Anything else that you got here before we move right along?
Nah, I ain't got nothing.
All right, we'll go to here. Let's see what we got left in the NFL. We're not too far, a couple months out from some football, college, NFL. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then didn't well, yeah, the Ravens cut Tucker, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, he's
I don't know who picked him up. Somebody had to pick him up because they talking about something. He's suspended the first 10 games.
yeah, he's got 10 weeks suspension. Um, let's see. The Bucks. There ain't much a whole lot going on right now.
Yeah.
But
Because last time we talked football, we was talking about Sanders over there doing all that speeding in Cleveland.
he must have. I bet old Daddy got a hold of him. Because
Took that car away.
I'm gonna tell you what. Whether they know it, Sanders Dion's a strict. He's a strict dad. He's going to be, boy. What are you thinking? What are you doing?
Exactly.
Be like, don't make me fly up there. But I don't see nothing else. If you got anything as far as NFL, but
No,
I ain't
I
had
got.
nothing. I ain't had nothing much coming to my phone from the Chiefs. Um, I'm just
Yes,
curious. I can't wait to see when it gets all started.
I know. Right before preseason, that's when we're gonna see some moves. Before that preseason starts, and we got preseason start August, beginning of August or something like that.
Well, there's only what two preseason games ish.
Oh, that's right. They didn't cut it from four. It's not four
Yeah,
anymore.
it's two. So it may not start to the middle
Yep.
unless they have two preseason games and then a break in between or something. But
Could be. Or they could do just so they can still keep their ratings and still make their money for all of August. Have one half play the first 2 weeks and another half play the last 2 weeks.
let's see. Actually, there's 3 weeks. They got 3 weeks. They're playing 3 games.
3 games. Oh, okay. So if they're playing 3 games, it might not be this year, maybe next year. Remember when they was talking about kicking in game 18?
Yep. I hope they don't. They're playing too many regular season games.
Yeah, it's way as many as them people keep getting hurt and everything. Yeah.
Well, you're what you're getting ready to do. You had a week 18. You got 17 in week 18. You're going to be playing backups because these teams are already in the playoffs and they're not going to play their starters.
Yep.
So you're wasting your time. You're going to waste viewership. People ain't going to watch those games. That's be like watching a preseason game. Um, August 7th to the 13th is week 1 of preseason. August 14th to the 20th is week 2. And August 21st to September 3rd is week 3. Um, and I will be on vacation at the end of August. I'll be out west in Colorado, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know that last Saturday of August. I don't know if I'll be able to come out and try to get on then. If not, I'll be missing probably 2 weeks of the podcast.
Yeah, we'll just miss those because I know you said you was hunting elk or moose or.
Yeah, I'm going out get on an elk hunting trip out there. And I'll be out of service unless I come back to town, which I could on that Saturday possibly. But that's where we're at there. Football. There ain't much going on there. You got anything else?
No, and we didn't hear anything about college in either. So
No, nothing anymore going on right now. So, well, like we always do, if you're thinking about harming and hurting yourself, there's that quick number you can dial 988 dial 1. They'll get you to the resources that you need to talk to, or you can dial 1-800-273-8255. That's the Veterans Crisis Line. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or if you're a veteran or anything else, some here listening, go to your local VA medical center, go to the ER, tell them you need to talk to someone, and they have people on staff to get you to the resources that you need. Don't be afraid to utilize the resources the VA has. There's a lot there that people don't know about.
right.
Um, until you start going to the VA, then you start realizing the stuff that they have. They got food banks, they got food drives, they have stuff. HUD Bash is for the homeless vets, get them help they need. They have activities, yoga activities, fishing activities. They do all kinds of different stuff. Um, I think our local VA was starting to try to get like a disc golf or whatever it's called. They're trying to get a course open for that. There's stuff they're trying to do for the veterans. So don't be afraid to take that step. Don't be afraid to go start seeking treatment at the VA hospitals either. Anything else, Beans?
Nope. I'm pretty much. That's it. That's everything.
All right, y'all stay safe. Don't know if we'll have an audio this week. We may try to, but if not, we'll see you next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Have a good
All
one.
right. This take forever to come up, but here.